Next, we're gonna dive into a side plank hip raises. Many different ways that we have. We're gonna show you kind of all of them, ways to make them a little bit easier, make them a little bit tougher. But we're gonna go, once again, we're gonna start always at the easiest possible version, and then we're gonna increase the difficulty of that movement. So we're gonna be on our side, and we're gonna put that forearm as kind of our bracing point. So we can start off with the knees bent, that hand is flat. My focus is to pick the hips up and down. So I'm pivoting on my knees. My hips are the actual ones that are doing the pivot work. They're gonna be driving up, so we can be feeling those obliques kicking in. And I'm just lifting myself up, so my elbow, my knees, and my feet are on the ground. You can do whatever you want with this arm, up on the side, whatever you need to do. This is the very first step. The next step, what we can do is extend those legs out so they're straight. And we're gonna do that same thing. We're gonna take this hip, we're gonna lift it up, and we're gonna bring it down. Now, when we're doing the straight leg side plank hip raise, we wanna make sure that our body is staying straight. For instance, if I'm showing you at this angle, my body could be bent here, and I'm raising it up. We wanna make sure that I'm nice and straight in a straight line, and then I'm raising the hips up. So try to be as straight as possible. Keep the glute squeezed when we do this. We should be pushing off the entire foot, the entire outside of the foot. We're not just pushing on the heel or just on the toe. We should make sure that that's planted into the ground. If you have to put one foot on top of the other, we can. And we can do that hip raise. Now, if we want to make this a little bit harder, we can extend up into that hand. Being the hand flat, do that same thing, go into that hip plank. So I'm nice and straight. I'm not starting at a sag position. And then I'm going to raise and lower that body. If we want to create even more difficulty in that movement, we could then lift the leg up. We're going to drop the hip, come back up, finding that balance. That's probably the most difficult way we can do that exercise without adding weight. But in general, we're making sure that we feel the obliques do a lot of the work. Try to keep the glutes squeezed so the hips are forward. And once again, we can start off with that easy method of on the knees with the knees bent in the forearm, raising up, getting into that full position, and then having the leg and arm raised when we're doing those side planks. So that is your side plank hip raise.